Favourite George. G'day, bro.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yep, good to be back.
And I say welcome back because you've been in Australia for the last few days. Tell the world what you've been doing.
So I've been at the Sydney Gay and Lesbian Mardi Gras.
Mm-hmm.
Just a great experience all around. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe I missed this year's one. Far out.
You're regular. You're on the big one too. You're like Santa Claus at the Christmas parade. It's like this joke.
Yeah, no, that was a good 21st, my last one.
Now, it's no surprise you were on the Bachelorette with me, and apparently you were the first openly bisexual contestant, bachelor, on the show.
They asked me that when they did the interview. They were like, "We assume you're the only one," and I was like, "Well, that's what I thought too."
Yeah.
So I was a bit confused with that sort of question because I didn't know anyone else was, so I just assumed I was the only one.
Yeah. That's weird.
It's really weird.
That's really weird. But I mean, it's not like anyone's just going to come out and openly say it when they're writing in the form. By the way, I'm interested in the chicks and the guys. Maybe I'll see how it goes. But no.
So it didn't come out to the producers until later in the process,
right,
of my application. And when
is that before or after you're on the show?
Oh, before I was on the show.
Oh yeah.
But they did know when they cast me on the show that I was bi. When I told people, they were like, "Oh, the producers are gonna love that," and I was like, "Oh,
anything, eh?
What have I done?" Yeah, but, I didn't actually sign up myself. My coworker did at work. We did it together. So I was never expecting actually to seriously do this. I just did it for fun, and then you get the application. So that's why I was on it, and it was good because, as I said in my article, it is hard to talk about. And so it was great going on the show because it gave me an opportunity to really sort of jump in the deep end and talking about it on like a really public forum. So I was quite happy with the experience overall.
I've been amazed how public this forum is. I was, because obviously I've never been a big reality TV watcher, and being on the show and the amount of people that recognize me now. People always recognize my voice doing voice work and all that sort of stuff, but until they see your face on TV, I had no idea so many people watch it.
Yeah.
And random.
And they know so much about it too. I've been around you. Yeah. They know everything.
Yeah. And who as well. I'm getting like tradies coming up to me and office workers, and I'm like, I did not think you were the demographic for that show. And I think they genuinely watching it too. It's not just their missuses who are making them watch it. They actually, into it, and they knew my name, not just the mole, Daryl. I was just surprised how large this forum actually was of reality TV. Was it frightening for you to actually on the first day? Were you kind of freaking out a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely freaking out. Like it's a real. I don't know. For me, it felt like a big deal. Like, you sort of question, like, why am I here? Is this really the best place? Like a really heterosexually focused reality TV show. The whole concept is. Yep. So I was a bit like, oh, do I really want to be here? Is this really for me? Will they care? Will the girl care or anything? But as the time went on and I relaxed a lot more, and actually you get a lot more comfortable with yourself in the subject, because you're actually like, no, I am here for legitimate reasons, and I am here to actually see where this goes. And it doesn't matter what happened in the past or what you are. What
did you think about it, Joe?
I mean, I remember watching the video because it went around when you first told all the boys.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, do you still get that kind of, because obviously it was like a very mixed kind of reaction. Not in the.
Was it a mixed reaction?
No, mixed reaction. Shall we just say a name? Glenn. Let's talk about that for a moment. Speaking of heterosexual,
I didn't mean to hurt people like it. Not like, I meant just people who had obviously been around it plenty, and guys that clearly haven't before. That's what I meant. You know what? Just cancel me right now.
No. But no, I know what you mean. Like it's unexpected, as you say. It's a heterosexually based show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So it would come as a shock, and it's really. I think if this was 10 years ago, people would have been going, "Oh, what are they doing?"
Yeah.
But in this, I wouldn't say climate's the wrong word for it, but in this day and age, it's like, oh yeah, cool. It's almost like, and I feel sorry for Glenn. Okay, let's talk about the Glenn situation. When Glenn said to you, when you came out about it, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I knew it," or something like that, didn't he?
Yeah. He said you got a lot of feminine energy, and I was like, "Oh, girl, yeah, thank you."
He's hilarious. But the funny thing is, I feel sorry for him in a way because he's got no filter, and he just got caught out by that moment.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
Aaron was there egging him on.
And I
and
said
being a
that
dick.
in my article. I said Glenn's a little socially awkward, and I felt I
Yeah.
didn't want to sound harsh, but it sounded a little harsh. I thought, but I didn't really. I just didn't want it to sound harsh. But Glenn is a little socially awkward at times, and
Yeah.
that's just Glenn. And if you know Glenn,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah.
Like it didn't offend me whatsoever.
Yeah, right, right.
Because I said the same thing to you when I came up to you and you said, "Oh, I've just come out as being bisexual," and I was like, "I fucking knew it." No one dresses that fabulous and I'm going for girls. Shit.
Yes.
Yeah, I can tell you, you've had 2 showers this morning. I know that. That's,
It's also fresh. So clean.
you mentioned me on the week, mate.
So when we didn't get your rose, you got some serious smile time. You got the girls were genuinely gutted that you were going, but they were smiling about it and having a laugh. And Lily's like, "You're your best friend,"
Yeah.
you know? So how was that? How did that feel? Like it's such a, it's not like you were an absolute contender. Like, say if Aaron went off tomorrow, he'd be bawling his eyes out. Whereas you were just like, "Oh, come on, girls. I've just made some really good friends." How did you feel about it when after you left?
Oh, so I'll start before then. So I knew I was going home that day. You can tell. You're standing there and you're looking at the road and you're just like, nope, I can feel it. It's my time.
Yeah.
I actually thought I was going to go earlier, but Tavita offered himself up because of his hernia.
Yeah.
So I actually thought I was going earlier. But so I was like really at the far edge of my seat, like no, I'm definitely on the like half foot out the door. And so when it was getting down to like, you know, the last roses, Lily was looking really upset and I was like, I'm not upset. I've had a great time. Do not worry whatsoever. So it was just really nice, I think, just for them to know that I don't know hard feelings about this, and I understand that this is a hard process to like go through, and if it's not going to work between you and me, then I can't get upset about that. So it was just great, and Lucina was really good to me throughout the program. Really lovely, really lovely. So I really felt a good bond with both Lucina and Lily, and so it was nice to just have a great goodbye. I didn't see it on TV, but I remember it very it was just like I just was so happy with.
Yeah. And you guys have hung out quite a bit since, like you and Lily, I think.
Oh, we just hung out once. Yeah. So that was that, and then we watched. It was actually the episode we were watching the episode at.
Was that Steve's place?
At Steve's house.
Yeah.
And we were watching the episode where I actually went on my date with Lily.
To
the botanical garden. Yeah, so that was funny to watch the episode with that and with Lily around. But she's so awesome, and we have a great time together.
That's cool.
I didn't actually watch that. How did the date go with Lily? Like,
Was that the picnic one?
That was the picnic one.
That's
right. So it was good. It was we got a
picnic date.
So
I didn't know those were still things.
So the boys went out.
Good
They all bought the supplies for the picnic, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. So
And
we
that was my surprise.
went to Monaco Supercentre and bought a whole bunch of.
Oh, the land of love.
Yeah. And so I actually got really good time for that. That wasn't really shown on camera, but we actually drove together. Well, she drove because I didn't have my license, but she drove us to the botanical gardens, and so we were like, we had all this time together. We were just chatting and really getting to. So that's why it seems like we were good friends, even without seeing much of us have camera time together.
Yeah.
Because we actually did in that initial stage have like quite a lot of time just to like talk and be just comfortable.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed was that when you did leave, that was definitely the change in the show's tone. It was, okay, these girls are now serious. You know what I mean? Like they're flushing anyone out now who they don't have much interest in, and they're because for a while there were a lot of sympathy votes. You know, how did Connor last that long? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, seriously. But you know what I'm saying? It's after you left, it definitely felt like now the game's on.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely felt that vibe change looking at the shorts and stuff. It's just like people are serious, getting serious now. So I'm quite glad I was out of there.
Was there like a point like that you sort of had a feeling that you weren't going to go all the way? Was that very far through, or was that really when you found out that you didn't get the rose? Was that when you?
So I had a moment in Argentina where, Lily didn't give me a rose, but Lucina gave me a rose.
Right.
And Lucina was basically telling me, "You need to buck up."
Yeah.
And like show that you're interested, please. And it was great because that was just like Lucina's showing me that she really liked who I was.
Yeah.
And she thought I would be great for Lily, so you need to buck up. And so I did, and that was the point. So like you went into like lulls and like highs.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was in a bit of a lull at that stage. I thought I was going home.
Yeah.
But then I bucked up and showed that I was actually interested, and then it got a little bit better, but then it fell away again. So it was just
fuck, what a roller coaster.
That is a bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah. It's weird because I was trying to, in the beginning, it wasn't much of a roller coaster. It was just like tick, 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 getting up to the top and coming down. And by the time I left, it started, the ride actually started. But everyone was so tentative at the beginning, trying to get everyone to open up a little bit and just talk. And come on, guys, let's just tell me about yourself.
Those first ones are pretty awkward, eh?
Yeah. Like painfully awkward.
You can understand why, though, yeah.
Totally. No, you can, especially Kiwi guys, though. Because Kiwi dudes are just like, oh, no, you're right. No, and then they start to come out a little bit, and it's like, okay, you need to go back in a little bit.
Harder.
Like guys like Glenn and guys like Mark, even, who he just started getting, some of the guys started trying a little bit too much. Trying to overcompensate because they realize that they've been quiet for the first few days. And then they start trying to bounce out a bit more, and it's just like, okay, you need to just split the difference, bro. Split the difference for a lot of the guys.
Yeah, because how did you fare in those early days, like, trying to get yourself out there and...
I said this in the article too, but my grandmother died literally the week befar we went on the show. So I was in a weird mental space. I was in a weird mental space.
Oh, sorry to hear, man.
I was when I entered the show. So I was just like, there was a lot of time where I was by myself, just I can't deal with all this testosterone right now. This is getting a bit much. But yeah, I was a bit surprised actually. I was looking at people like Liam and Mark and being like, how do people come into this and just be so like outspoken and obnoxious? Like, how do they do? Because like getting to know Liam near the end, I loved Liam by the end. I was like, you're actually such a nice, genuine person. Why did you come in here? With like
so hot.
with your dick out, saying like, I'm really beautiful. I'm Chris Hemsworth. It was just like,
dude,
no one cares.
You're a dick.
But then you get him talking about his glass and how he sells glass to like companies overseas, and you get him talking about it, and he's just becomes this like amazing person that like knows about glass, and you're like really interested.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
Exactly. He does. He sells glass.
He sells glass.
I know heaps of people that sell glass out west, Henderson. Mate, you're not special, man.
And so getting to know Liam on that level, you sort of just like, you forgot all about his obnoxious dicky side, and you're like, this person's actually got a lot of depth.
Yeah, and again though, like when he tried to be a little too deep at times, especially back in over in Argentina, and you could see he was coming across a little bit dumb. But it was just he couldn't put his words together properly, especially the stuff about, oh, no, I've got my own house and all that sort of thing.
God.
Oh, you own it? No, I'm renting. Like,
shit. Hey, bro, I'm not homeless either. So. Congrats.
But no, I agree. I mean, he does come across as quite a good dude and a genuine guy, especially in the last couple of episodes. I've been watching every fucking episode of it because I do those little catch-up videos. But it's actually been quite good to genuinely watch the development.
That's the only reason I know what's happening on the show, Des, by the way.
They're so good.
Good.
100%.
That's how I've been catching up when I've been overseas.
Literally.
Did you see the Liam thing with 100%?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God, that was funny. That was genuinely the funniest thing I've seen. Have you heard about this?
No.
So,
I did see the clip. Of the clip every single time.
That was funny.
Is he who you called 10 Cent Hemsworth?
10 Cent Hemsworth. Yeah. But
like 5, but
I'm down. I think I'm down. It drops by 5 every time I do it.
That's a good game.
But no, on the actual show, he was having a conversation with Lily. And two of the boys, I think it was
me,
Tavita, and were you there as well?
Yeah, I was there as well. Yeah, it was actually quite awkward because Lily was getting really pissed off with the boys because they were just laughing. Yeah. Like, and
she had no
idea why they were laughing.
Yeah, because of that.
So and Liam was actually like saying genuine stuff, and when Liam says genuine stuff, like he's actually like, you just really want to listen. And so I think she was just getting a bit like. Oh, and it was actually awkward for us because we were sitting there like, guys, just kill it.
Bro, it was great TV. I was pissing myself because I've got this sort of hate.
I know you told us at the beginning of the show, like 100%.
Don't say 100% all the time. Don't say literally all the time. And don't say like all the time. And that one thing, oh shit, it was funny.
Said all 3.
He got, because the guys were counting how many times he said 100% in the conversation. Yeah. And it got up to 8. And it was a slow paced 8, but it was a solid 8. You know what I mean? And then in one sentence, he goes 100%. 100%. Yeah, 100%. And I was like, this is gold. If you were a comedian, this is the greatest comic timing ever. The way he did that. It was so good. So what has it been like? So in between the finishing shooting the show, when did you were off about late November?
Yeah,
Early December?
it would have been mid-November.
Mid-November?
Yeah, mid-November.
So in between filming the show and when the marketing started up, when it got exposed that you were on the show, how were you feeling? Were you apprehensive about what was about to happen? Or?
I was so busy. Like Christmas time is the busiest time of year in New Zealand, and then you go to New Year's and you just forget all about it. Really, it wasn't until.
What do you do in the outside world? What's your gig? What do you do? Tell us what you do.
Well, I'm now a store manager at the Walker and Hall at the domestic airport.
Oh, no shit.
Which is actually a crazy job now because so many people go through the airport every day and so many people recognize me.
Of course.
Yeah. So I've had a lot of selfie time. I've had a guy actually FaceTime his wife in the store.
Really?
Really? With me, yeah. So it's been that's a crazy thing about the job. So
have you been liking like that? Because obviously some guys love it, some guys don't. Like, how have you? Do you like sort of the attention from that?
I do. I love giving a lot of energy, and I love getting energy back. So that's the sort of that's the sort of vibe I really.
That's
and
cool.
that's why I like sales as well.
Yeah.
Sales is very much like being on show, being an entertainer.
That's something that I've noticed actually is I'm enjoying watching some of the guys get the attention because I think, in this day and age, people are complaining about toxic masculinity and all this sort of thing. But seeing guys like yourself, Logan, Steve, to a degree, and some of the other guys who are genuinely really, really good guys and they present themselves well and they act well, seeing them get attention and getting recognised for it, I think that's great.
Oh, especially when you boys put yourselves out there. Fuck.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You got to respect. I mean, especially you, putting yourself right out there. It's You can give reality TV a lot of shit, but fuck. Yeah, that's a whole nother level of exposing yourself to the world.
Definitely.
I was not expecting so many good dudes on the show.
No, you know
my story.
That,
my story about coming on the show was I was expecting the worst, Instagram models and shit.
Yeah,
and I got on there. 90% of you are awesome.
Yeah,
I was like, this is
who are the 10%?
Amazing. They speak for themselves. Their names. I don't need to bring those up. But no, it was awesome, and to see. I genuinely did think to myself a couple of things like, why are you here on the show? You should be out there just doing your thing. But then the other thing was, it's cool that you guys are going to get exposure because you're good representatives of who we are as dudes. And I thought that was really, really cool. Yeah. And you have that other element to you as well, being the bisexual.
Well, being the bisexual. Got to represent New Zealand.
But a cool thing about you, if I may, is that you are bisexual, but it's not your identity.
No,
I'm not.
I never wanted it to be that way, and that's why in the show I never like people were a bit funny when I didn't tell Asina straight away, and it's like, well, that's not who I am.
Yeah.
Like that's totally just agree. That's just the lifestyle I live. I just definitely, and I loved how the producers actually just said that you can choose the time and the place that you want to do it, and it did come out. It was funny because when it came out, they weren't actually filming. When I actually said it to the guys, they had to redo the whole thing. And that was when Glenn made his comments. But it was really good we did it that way because I really liked that they wanted to show that on TV. They wanted to show a guy being able to talk about that with other guys. Yeah. And they didn't show this part either, but I said in an interview afterwards, I've never had a bad reaction in my life when I've told people. Yeah. But there's always that worry that someone might not take it the right way. Yeah. And you just got to be on guard.
Yeah. Have you had any bad experiences like that in real life? Any iffy ones?
There's been iffy ones. If you're with a guy at like a music festival or something, some people look at you like, what the hell are they doing here? You get a little bit of that sometimes, and I'm not going to deny that. I've been called like a faggot in the street and stuff, people, and you sort of just brush it off and move on. And I actually feel like, and this is bad because I don't like feeling sorry for people, but you always feel sorry because it's just like you're missing out on so much. Yeah. There's so much fun. We
can tell.
I'm always getting annoyed. I'm like, why are the gays having all the fun? And we're so serious all the time.
Hey, I've stood outside Kalutsi, bro. I know.
Oh my god, totally. You can see that. That's where all the bridesmaids go for their parties.
Safe zone. That's a crack up. Family bars a crack up too. I remember the first time.
It's more straight people than gay people now, but that's
it actually is.
It actually is. Which is actually quite cool in a funny way. It is showing that that, you know, it's not as feared or not as like a little bit maybe in a weird way fetishized by straight people.
Oh, for sure,
Right.
Like,
for sure.
especially like straight girls sometimes
Yeah.
fetishize the gay community a little, and it gets a bit like.
Yeah.
But it was funny because when I was at Mardi Gras, that's mostly guys at the after party, so it's just mostly just all guys.
Yeah.
And there's no screaming.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, wow, this is there's no one is screaming. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
how
yeah,
girls
yeah.
can scream their heads off. I was just like, oh, this is the way concerts need to be.
Yeah.
Totally, eh? There's people that are trying to try singing and they're like singing at the top of their voices. And it's like, just calm down. Calm down. I know you think it's about you. It's fine. Just be cool.
So most of them will be beers. They'd sound like you, Des, more than
beers?
yeah.
Actually, if I may have a
There'd be
moment
a
of
whole bunch
honesty,
of you there, bro.
if I may have a moment of honesty, the last time, like I'm with it. Like I don't, you know, people do what they want to do. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I did once balk at two blokes making out once because they were bears and they were massive, hairy, and I just was not expecting that. I'd never seen that before.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, whoa. Cool, man. That's awesome. But there's a moment, you know. You're like, that's kind of, you know.
Those are two big dudes.
They were
Those two
big dudes. They were props. They were proper props, and they were like, I was like,
Did they have the harnesses and everything, or that was it just like normal blokes?
no, I didn't go into the dungeon.
Oh,
I stayed in the top of the bar. No, it was a straight bar too, and I saw it and I was like, whoa, cool, man.
Yeah.
Mean. But you know, there's always going to be something in life that you're not expecting. You
Definitely.
know what I mean? And I think for a lot of people like myself or anybody else who sees things like that out of context, it can seem a little bit rough. To react like that, but it's like, look, it's just
but
something
I
like-
understand
It's just
completely.
natural.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I grew up in like a heterosexual environment. I was weirded out by guys kissing. Like that was my life too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I've been exactly in the same shoes you have. It's just now that I've joined like this new community,
Yeah.
I'm a bit more, you know, what was ever the word is for it.
Yeah.
Open.
Well, because when
Well,
you
it's just a bit more like used to it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can understand how people wouldn't be used to it because I've lived that life as well, where it's
Yeah.
not normal. Yeah.
when did you start to become comfortable like, with your sexuality?
Definitely university.
Yeah,
so I went
true.
I went to boarding school, so that's definitely the place that you don't.
Yeah.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Where
But
are you from originally?
Auckland.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I've always had a supportive family, and I went down to Dunedin and had supportive friends.
Shit, and Dunners.
And Dunners.
Oh
yeah,
no.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Dunners is great. Dunners is like the playroom for
Oh, shit,
18
yeah.
to 20
Yeah.
early 20-year-olds,
Yeah.
and it's just a melting pot of people figuring themselves out, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'd recommend anyone to go there
Yeah.
if they want to have a good experience with growing up.
100%.
That's cool. Man. So what are you hoping to do now that the show's over? Like your time on the show's over. In fact, the show's almost over.
The show is almost over.
got like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks.
Is it? Oh, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure what we're up to. Steve's just left, hasn't he?
Steve's just left.
So there's
Can't say anything about who else, because most of us know what happens next. But
Yeah.
so Steve's just left. So there's not much to go.
No.
Hard to say. But anyway, so are you hoping to carry on with this new level of celebrity that you've found?
I honestly just do things if they happen naturally.
Yeah.
Like if things come up naturally in my life that mean I'll try to be in the spotlight a bit more, then
Yeah.
probably yes. But at the moment, you know, I've got my job.
Yeah.
I've got all the other stuff in my life going on. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it's going to be a thing for me going forward, but you never know what's going to happen.
Never
So
know.
yeah, I'm just excited to see where it takes me.
I hope you carry on with it. Like I said before, it's like it's good having people
Yeah,
who are good
yeah.
representatives of.
Well, that's a lot of people that messaged me and said, you know,
Yeah.
you're spreading a good message and being a good example to men around New Zealand. I was like, oh, well, yeah, I'm just being myself.
Yeah.
But that's
Being
then that's what I would say to myself. So I won't be a celebrity just to be a celebrity.
Yeah.
I would have to do it because I wanted to do something that put me in the spotlight. Yeah, wouldn't do it for the sake of it.
Yeah, for sure.
We've got the reunion show coming up next week. I think we're filming that.
Yeah.
And who are you looking forward to catching up with? Because some of the guys, there were a few of the guys I met
I've
once.
seen most of the guys
Yeah.
since the show. I'd love to catch up with Richie.
Yep.
Yeah, Richie and Elliot were really cool.
Yeah.
People that I just really connected with and
Yeah,
got to
yeah.
know, and I just really really enjoyed their presence. So
Cool.
I'd love to catch up with Richie again.
Yeah.
I called up with everyone else. I'd say that I'd want to catch up with.
Yeah.
Liam actually, lovable.
Yeah.
Liam. I'll give Liam a big hug.
Yeah. I want to. Because he was messaging me the other day, and how am I going to put this without giving nothing away? Yeah, I'm dying to find out what happens to him
Oh yeah,
Jet.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that'll be, good old Liam.
Yeah, because what's it like off the camera, like for you boys? Like, what's the environment like? Does everyone kind of switch off on like what kind of zone they're in, or does it stay pretty intense? Or
from what I remember,
we didn't really have much to do, so you just sit around and
pretty much.
Yeah.
That was the worst part of being on it for me. I was only on there for 8 days continuous, and man, I got cabin fever.
Yeah,
it was so
true.
boring, and because I had nothing writing on it, I had no skin in the game, so I was just there, sort of fucking around,
Hanging
trying to, work out what I'm going to do. But you guys had, stuff going on, so there's a bit more.
Yeah. So I guess I always it got better for me when we got to Argentina.
Yeah.
It just got a lot easier, a lot nicer. Everyone was a bit happier, getting a lot more sun because it was a really dreadful weather in Auckland.
It was glum,
It was terrible.
Yeah.
We just hung out a lot, played cards, went for a swim because they had the pool.
Yeah.
Argentina looks sick. How long were you guys there for?
I don't know.
Well, I was only there for 2 weeks, so I don't.
In Argentina?
In Argentina, yeah.
No shit, 2 weeks in Argentina.
Yeah,
I wasn't there at all. So
I've already been twice before.
Oh, really? Stop it. Stop it. I tell you what, Argentina looks amazing. I didn't know Buenos Aires was so metropolitan.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's massive city.
Yeah.
But so because I'd been there twice before, you get like when you're eliminated, you have to wait like a day before you fly out.
All right.
Yeah.
And so I just had a day where I was like, well, what do I do? I've done all the touristy stuff I could possibly do in the city. So I just walked around and was like,
Cool.
just feel like a spare prick at a wedding. But it was just like, it was funny for me. And I was desperate to get home.
Yeah.
Desperate. I was just like, get me home.
2 weeks is a while.
It is a long time.
Even if you're having just a holiday,
Yeah.
2 weeks. By 2 weeks on a holiday, I'm like done.
You're pretty over it.
And if you're in the same place, especially.
Definitely, and hate living out of a suitcase, because we had to pack our suitcases every night at a rose ceremony because you just don't know who's going home.
Yeah, right.
And so the chaperone's like, you pack your suitcase because that means you won't leave anything behind because I will miss things.
Yeah.
It's just
Because you're not allowed to back up in your room. So if you don't get a rose, you go pretty much straight to the car.
Is that so?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
right.
Or you go on to interviews, so they put you straight into an interview and then they take you to the car.
Fire, that's so intense.
Was Candace over there as chaperone?
Yeah. Candace can do. Candace
funny, man.
Candace is great.
I feel like there's a story there, but I don't know if it.
Oh, there was a story there, but we won't.
Awkward sexual tension the whole time.
Awkward. It's like, hey,
Oh, can do. You're the third Bachelorette.
I was gonna.
We thought that was
be
going to be
funny,
the.
eh?
We thought that was going to be the plot.
No shit.
Third Bachelorette. I was going to say, if you were to do, so now that you've had this experience and you've dipped the toe into the reality TV world, would you do another one? Would you apply for something else? Because it doesn't become. I think it would become easier for some of us who are personalities to get onto something like Dancing with the Stars or one of those other friggin' things.
I would love to do reality TV again.
Yeah.
I found it was like an experience where you're literally getting told just be yourself.
Yeah.
And you don't really get told that a lot in life.
No.
Just be yourself. Like it's
Yeah.
usually your job, and they tell you what to do, and or you at school or university, and they tell you what to do or who to be.
Yeah.
But that reality TV was literally just like, we cast you for you.
Yeah.
We don't want you to be fake or anyone else.
Yeah.
You just be yourself.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting concept, and it really, it really like showed me what I valued as well. So I'd love to do reality TV again, see what a different experience might show for my life as well.
It was interesting seeing some of the guys how they couldn't be themselves. Like some of the boys, they just kept trying to create characterizations of who they were.
Oh, you can tell the dudes that have to do that. They've had to do that their whole lives, though.
Yeah.
Sure.
True. It was hard case, but then there's some guys like yourself. Terrence was just Terrence. You know
Terrence
what I
is
mean?
always just Terrence.
Terrence is Terrence.
I don't think Terrence could not be
He's
Terrence.
he's a shorter fellow with the long locks.
Oh, okay.
He's called himself Sideshow Bob.
Yeah. No.
He's just a man of the world. Eh? He's the world's guest. That guy.
So good.
He's brilliant.
No, he's and he's really deep as well. So on the show, it doesn't really come across. Must not have talked about it in interviews a lot, but he's actually a really deep guy, and he's got lots to say, and you just got to really get it out of him because he doesn't give it easily. So it's quite interesting because he's a lovely guy, and he's always himself, but there's this other side to him that's just
He confessed that on the last episode, actually, that he's got walls up and he struggles bringing those walls down.
Yeah.
That's most Kiwi dudes, though. I feel like all of us are definitely like that.
Yeah.
And he's definitely that sort of person that will just like make a joke to sort of like make everyone else feel better, but he himself is like not looking after himself. So he really does need to suss himself out on that level.
Yeah, who else was there like that? I'm just trying to think. Who was truly genuine? Well, he's got Steve and those guys.
And Logan.
Yeah, it's an interesting... It was a really, really fascinating dynamic. I'm actually... I don't know why I'm struggling to think of who else is on there.
Yeah.
You got Jono. He was pretty... Actually, Jono was an interesting guy. Jonathan. I had him on the show last week. He seems to be one of the ones who's actually really developed as a person by being on the show.
Yeah.
I thought he was really quiet. And now he's very much, very confident speaker. I was amazed how confident he spoke in the seat right there. You know what I mean? Last week, just chatting away, open up and all that sort of thing. Whereas I felt he was quite quiet, where, didn't know what to expect.
Yeah,
from
he
him.
was the first to swoop on the first night. I think he's got that side to him.
Yeah.
That's like quite, like...
There's a little edgy bit
I know what I have to do and I'll do it.
Yeah.
This is what... Yeah, I just... Yeah. But he was quiet. He was a little quiet on the show. But that could just be... didn't really connect well with other guys, especially because the other guys at the start were like, it's quite hard to gauge who each other are.
For sure.
Yeah.
Would you go on a show like that, Joe? Would you do it? Would you put your name down?
Right, you've asked me this so many times, and I think, honestly, like, I can openly admit I'm a pretty confident dude, but I think even in like an environment like that, there's just so many like personalities.
Yeah.
I'm quite like an introverted dude, when it comes to like personal kind of matters. So something like that where you're putting yourself out there like for fucking something like love. I don't really know if I could do it like that.
Yeah.
Maybe something stupid like Heartbreak Island or
I feel the same.
Shore or some shit.
Because it's just a party, eh?
I feel a little bit the same way. Like the concept of love actually was the one that freaked me out the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the way I was holding myself back. So I was like, really, I don't really believe I'm going to find love here. I really genuinely didn't believe it. And I think that was my thing in the end. Yeah. Was why I was happy I was going. Because I was like, actually, no, this is not the right thing for me. Because I'm not going to find love here. Because I genuinely do not believe that it can happen.
Yeah. Especially for you. Like, are you quite like, have you been in a lot of relationships? Like,
I haven't been in a lot of relationships.
I'm the same.
Yeah. So I would definitely I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's still pretty new to you and for you to put yourself out
there.
And to be new to the relationship scene, so to speak, or just have a little experience and then thinking you're going to find love on a reality TV show.
That's not going to happen.
Other guys all in the same space.
Well, some of them have had like long relationships. Like I think Connor said that he had a really long relationship that he was in.
Did he though? No, I'm kidding.
And I was like, crap, like I've had like the longest relationships I had like 6 months.
I think mine was like 6 days. I was fucking over it. Hey, it's getting to a week, man.
I'm not breaking any records here. I think I'm done. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
And because it wasn't easy to find contestants for the show.
Okay.
Being that it was the reverse of The Bachelor. Women I think I just find it easier to sort of hang out in the harem and try and converse and bitch about each other and all that sort of thing, whereas guys are the opposite. You know what I mean? It's if there's one woman and 22 guys, most guys are just going to be like, fuck it, you guys can.
Oh, for sure.
Hey,
we're always like, whatever, boys. Even though I want it real bad, I'll probably cry if one of you get with her. It's very much like something we all hold ourselves back about being into.
Yeah.
It looks like that on the show as well, that the guys are getting on really well.
Yeah.
To the like the detriment of going on dates with the girls. They're just stoked to hang out with the guys all day.
Even though they all probably definitely want to like go on the dates.
Oh, you definitely want to go on the date, but you're also like not that upset about spending time with the guys.
For sure.
Yeah. I wouldn't have been complaining. I would have been sweet. Just hang out in a hotel, go swimming, eat some food. It was mean.
Yeah, it was good.
In Buenos Aires. In Caracas, it's a little bit more boring.
Yeah.
It's a bit shit.
I love they cut you just before Argentina. That's my favorite.
I was genuinely like, when it came out that you guys are going to Argentina, I was like, what? I knew I was going to go before. I was like, you cheap bastards, take me. I give so much to the show.
Sorry, Des, Jetstar doesn't fly Argentina.
Rough as guts. What sort of friendships have you developed since the show? Like, obviously, you and I, we've all caught up.
Yeah.
On the odd occasion. since the show's been completed. Have you got any solid friendships coming out that have come out of it?
I'm just enjoying having guy friends for once.
Yeah.
In Dunedin, I had my guy friends in Dunedin, but it was always mixed with girlfriends as well. So we had like a very mixed group. But this is just like pure guy friends, and you get like the text on Saturday night. So come out Saturday night, and it's like, yes, totally. So I'm loving having that. Sort of thing, that the guys want to go out and we want to hang out together, and I just really appreciate that.
That was actually a genuine thing for me too after the show finished, because it took a while to get everybody's contact info because we weren't really allowed to give it out. But once we all sort of did the detective work and found each other, and that's what I found. I thought, this is really cool. I got guy mates. My proper mates, and we've been through this odd experience together. It doesn't matter how briefly you're on it, but it was a strange experience, and you've got something cool and in common to talk about and laugh about, and then the rest of the night goes on from there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Doesn't matter how old you are, camaraderie with the boys, it's always it's always a bit different.
Yeah,
it's almost frowned on a little bit though from time to time in media and that these days. Seeing like groups of guys hanging out. Is it toxic masculinity or whatever? Blah, blah, blah. It's not. We need guy time.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely.
If you don't get guy time, then you just sort of get yourself into a hole a little bit. And when you're trying to find, depression among men's rampant, and I think one of the genuine causes of it is that we're just not hanging out with the same sex enough.
Oh, for sure.
As groups, as just hanging out, just chewing the fat, because you've got to have that locker room talk, if you will, where you can just say obscene shit that you wouldn't say in public or to females, and just get it out. And then you can carry on. And I found that happened on the show when the cameras were off. I was lucky enough to be rooming with Steve. So we just let it out, man.
Yeah.
We go back to.
Well, Steve's got a lot of stories though.
Oh, he's got some yarns. That dude. I'm like, who's this guy? You're not the same dude on the cameras are rolling.
He's dangerous, Steve.
He's ruthless, He's a ruthless man. Cool. Well, George, thank you very much for coming in. I think we'll wrap it up there. It's been a wonderful conversation. And I'll see you next week at the reunion show.
Yeah.
And good luck for everything in the future. And I genuinely do hope we see more of you, more of your face on TV, and your profile is boosted more, because you're one of the genuine guys that I would like to see that happen to.
Oh, no, man.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Shop for me, bro.